Episode 21.
Nice.
Last week, 2 weeks ago, for the people watching, all the 5 people.
The same T-shirt on.
Yeah, you don't change. Last episode we discussed all the things we mildly dislike about the self-employed. And it was, in the best possible way, quite a difficult chat because being self-employed is pretty good, isn't it? But today we flipped it.
Yes.
We're going to get all positive. And we're going to say, what are the best things about being self-employed?
Okay.
I think there's many, but what comes to mind when I ask that question?
Well, on the last ep, I said one of the worst things is the never-ending to-do list. But I also think that is one of the best things. Yes, it can get you down, but if you've ever got a time where you're thinking, I've got nothing to do, you're lying, because there's something on that list. And always having something to fall back to get on with is really valuable, I think. Always knowing that there's something that you can do to push that business forward. Doesn't matter that you might not tick 15 things off. What matters is that you always have something to work on.
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, and then that's episode over then, isn't it? Let's just leave it there. The one thing, there's lots of things, but I totally agree on getting stuff done is hugely rewarding. Oh, that's changing.
Did it?
Did it? Oh, okay. Why were you looking over there?
I was looking at that.
Oh, I thought you were looking
No, I was looking at...
Okay, let's move on. It's highly rewarding.
We're out of practice.
Right, come on. Right, we're back on it. Yes, ticking. It's highly rewarding progressing the business, even if it's in a tiny way. I always think when I'm potentially energy is low or I'm not, feeling the best, even if you can do one thing that day, and it could be an absolutely tiny thing, that could be emails, that could be whatever. If you do one thing per day for your business, that will accumulate really, really quickly. Now, there's going to be some days when you do loads and loads and loads. But even when you're having, even if you're having a bad day and you can do something good for your business, that's amazing. And you do that for long enough, that makes a huge compound difference to your business. So I really like that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What's your favourite thing?
There's loads.
Go on.
I genuinely love being self-employed. What I didn't, I've just realised I didn't bring up something that I dislike about being self-employed. But they're linked, so I'm going to bring them both up. So I think in my situation, I'm not, the main breadwinner, but I've got a family, a mortgage. So the pressure of bringing in a certain amount every single month can be really difficult. Because if you're having a good month, then you've got to think of the next month and the next month. And the next. So it never really, that pressure never goes away, which I think is difficult sometimes. The flip side of that, and what I love, is when it does go well, that's when it's really rewarding because that's on you. It goes both ways. If your business isn't going very well, of course, there's going to be outside influences, but you've got to take some responsibility for that. But if things are going well, you've got to sort of kind of pat yourself on the back too. That the rewarding feeling that you get, I don't think you would get from being employed. Maybe you get it from a promotion, but that would be very time sensitive, and then it'd be Monday again, and you'd be part of the hamster wheel, wouldn't you?
Yep. And coming off of what you were saying, compared to employed life, I mostly worked in companies that were run by the boss and his wife, sort of thing. The last 2 companies I worked for, so 15 or 16 years worth of my life was spent lining their pockets with my work.
Of course,
and it was very obvious that that's what was happening because they were living the life of Riley.
Nice.
From the company checkbook.
Good. That's good for staff morale. Though.
Yes, love that. Love
the culture.
But the feeling of lining your own pockets is, and especially if you compare it to the something like what I was talking about, there's nothing quite like it. I earned that. That's, and especially doing something that I never had ever planned to do before as well.
Yeah.
I'd never planned to go self-employed when I was at any point in employment. It wasn't until I was made redundant that it became an option. Yeah, that's incredibly rewarding. Thinking, oh man, I made that money. It's my money.
Through my voice.
And the taxman's money.
Yeah.
And then the kid's money.
Of course.
And everything else.
And you're left with
about
that much.
Not even enough for a CD these days.
What was the last CD you bought?
The last CD I bought, oh gosh.
I've never heard you say gosh before.
I'm going to say again, gosh.
It's good.
I only moved to Spotify last year. So, why is that funny? I used to like looking at the
boomer.
The booklets. The last CD I bought, I don't know.
No.
I really don't know.
No. Not a classic anecdote.
I tell you. I'll tell you what it was. It was the Bluey CD.
Oh, okay.
For my kids.
Yeah. Nice.
I loved it.
Okay. Well, that's good.
And then I added it to Spotify.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Excellent. Well, I'm really glad I asked.
Thanks, mate.
So, yeah. Let's move on. What's another thing you love?
Seeing the effect of either my work or in some way that I've helped someone, seeing the results of that. In employed life, you're quite often just a cog in the system. I was very much in the middle of a process in my previous career, and I had no dealings before it got to me and no dealings after. I was literally in that point. So there was no satisfaction at any point of, wow, yeah, I was involved in that. That's cool. Whereas now, for the projects that I'm involved with, as with every other person in there, we're all integral parts of that jigsaw, I guess. But I was very much behind the scenes. Okay. I wasn't allowed to talk to anyone. That was important.
It's probably best.
I think so.
Yeah. He's good with numbers, but, he's not a people person. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, well, that leads on to another one of mine. And it's something that you don't often do. You're always working collaboratively with the client. What I'm going to say is when those occasions when you're working with other self-employed people, but you're very much part of a team. That's really nice because a lot of the time you're on your own, in my world, doing editing, or even if you're on a shoot, you're kind of separate because you're actually shooting something and sometimes you don't want to be too involved. But yeah, that collaborative process, that camaraderie is really, that's something that I think is really special. And something that I love because it means more especially if you're working with other freelancers, you're all in the same boat, generally speaking, but you've come together for this project.
It's kind of, did used to get that a little bit when I was employed. Yeah. But it would mainly be when you were out on work dues and everyone just started moaning about work.
Nice.
Together.
Yeah.
But other than that, there wasn't any really sort of, we're in this together team spirit thing. The company started doing badly. It was like, well, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that, and at the end of the day, a lot of the time it's not there was no decisions that you could make that would help or not help. And that goes back to the what you were saying at the beginning, I think, about having the control and the power is all down to you. And that can weigh some people down, obviously, but the power.
Yeah. But that's why I think being self-employed isn't for everybody, because you can be the most skilled at what you do, but unless you've got all the skills that wrap around that.
There's something.
Okay.
The extra skills that you have to build up or that you do build up by default. That's
yes.
a pretty cool thing.
Yes.
And they're skills that are highly transferable. So if tomorrow I thought, oh, actually, I'm going to start up a business as a gardener, I still have the business side that I've already. It's completely different to voiceover, but there's still the business side of it that I've learned by default.
It's interesting you say that.
Here comes a disagreement.
No, it's the opposite of that. I'm disagreeing with what you just said in terms of it being a disagreement. No, I totally agree. I think that and it's something I haven't really thought about too much, but all the skills that go into being self-employed and running a business, you can take that and literally put it in any other business. For instance, a gardener, just say I wanted to set up as a gardener tomorrow. If I had those skills, and this is going to sound really arrogant, but
I've got a massive lawnmower.
Huge lawnmower. No, if I had the skills to do another business with all the stuff that I've learned from this one, I'm almost certain I could make a success of it because it's universal, those skills, the networking skills, the marketing skills, the soft skills. That's all whatever business you're in, that's going to be relevant, isn't it? And yet, of course, every business is very separate in terms of the skill set, the specific skill set.
If you did run a gardening business, what would you call it?
Bowles' Bush.
Oh, God.
Well, you ask.
Edit that bit out.
No. I've got some business cards here. What would yours be?
Mine would be
Martin's Mow.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, that's good. That is good. I'll have to shave this bit.
Yeah, you could have a mow. Yes. It's writing itself, this stuff, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah,
I think I'm considering this.
Unfortunately, this will be the last episode of TC Snap because Martin is going to be pivoting.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Okay, we're on a roll now. How long we got? Okay, 3 minutes. That's another thing, is that if you have got a business that's just you're so nimble in terms of pivoting that you could, literally you could start a gardening business tomorrow because it's just you. You wouldn't have to close down everything. You could just put a holding email, and it's a bit more complicated than that. But being so nimble in your in how to make money, or being so nimble in your business, you can just change overnight. Even if it's something within the voiceover world that you wanted to do, you could just change direction. It's not like a big business, a big tanker where, everything takes so long to make changes. You can do that. And which is awesome.
That's one of the other good things about running your own business, isn't it? You can, the variety of project.
Yeah.
So you can take on other things that aren't necessarily, your first, the thing that you talk about most. So I talk about voiceover the most, but obviously there's TCC as well. A bit of podcast editing here and there.
Yeah.
A little bit of web stuff I don't really talk about because I don't enjoy it.
Photo editing, you've done that for me.
I did do that for you.
Did some cracking radiators for me.
Cracking radiator editing.
You're my go-to man for facts. That's a niche within a niche, isn't it?
But that's the thing, isn't it? Having so much variety in what you do. What I did before was the same thing every day for, I don't know how many years it was in the end, 15, 16 years. And it's kind of, when you look back on it, you think, how did I survive that long? Not just mentally being destroyed by the end of it, of just the mundane, I guess it was extracurricular activities probably sort of pulled me through it. But every day is different now. That's amazing.
When you're employed, you said you mentioned your hobbies and extracurricular stuff, and that pulled you through. Now you're self-employed, and it's so you love it so much. Do you need those extracurricular activities as much, or if you just was working, that would be enough because you enjoy it?
I thought it was enough because I didn't really have any extracurricular activities for a while. I think you already know the answer to this one. But yeah, I have an extracurricular activity now, music.
And dance.
And yeah, well, I don't play that as much
and
recently. Running. Yes.
And cycling.
Cycling a bit, yeah. But that's
you
more...
hate work.
Mate, don't get me started. That's more, I would say, exercise is the different. I don't treat that as what you might say, a fun pastime.
Fair enough.
I'd rather not have to do it at all.
Okay.
But music, yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Love the fact that I'm playing again now. But I didn't think I needed to scratch that itch because I was being creative every day. But now I'm back into it. It's like, okay, I have missed this.
Yeah. But maybe because, I'm not saying that you don't love what you do, but some of the novelty maybe has worn off. Whereas at the start, everything's so new. You don't need anything else because this is so exciting. Of course, if you do something over and over and over again, it's going to lose some of its novelty, some of its excitement. So then you need, maybe I do need a bit of this and a bit of that. So
just keep things fresh.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, I think we'll wrap up shortly.
I can't remember what we spoke about.
Well, we've rambled. Yeah. This has been a big ramble.
Is this one of the ones where I say, should we put this one out? And you say, yeah.
Well, we have to now because we've only got, we've got a block booking.
We referenced it in the other episode.
Yeah. So no, this will go out. I think there's been some good stuff. Now let's try and remember. So you said lists.
Yeah.
You mentioned lists. I mentioned freedom. I don't know if I did mention freedom.
You definitely didn't. Pivoting.
In my head, I mentioned freedom. Pivoting, being nimble.
Yeah. Variety.
Having the rewarding nature.
Yeah.
Of things going.
Lining your own pockets and not someone else's.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then we finished.
Seeing the results of your work more often as well.
Yeah, exactly. So there's loads. And I think we've remembered them pretty well.
Nice.
That's episode 21 done. See you later. Bosh.